What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to From the Top Rope with Andrew Crawford. I'm your boy Andrew Crawford, not the GOAT, but I look like a GOAT. Close enough, am I right? I think I'm right. And today on the channel, or should I say, welcome back to the channel today, we will be talking about mid-card wrestlers and my top 10 of them. But before we get into that, some things need to happen. You need to like, share, and subscribe. I need to take a drink of this water because, as I've said, health is wealth in 2026. Like I said, still has no flavor. But anyways, so mid-card wrestlers are great. They're guys that maybe they should be in the main event, but they never break through to the main event, and if they do, they never stick around the main event. They always find themselves in high-profile feuds that get on the card. They always find themselves in big matches. The Scott Halls of the world, the Owen Harts of the world. Not saying that they're on my list. They are actually my honorable mentions. You'll probably notice a theme with this list because this is like a whole lot of Ruthless Aggression era guys, because the Ruthless Aggression era was stacked in the mid-card, especially the tail end of it with names that I will talk about. Number 10, Goldust. So, Goldust does not have the mid-card success other than I think he does have an Intercontinental title win under his belt, but he doesn't have like the always in the high-profile feud, but he did have something. The gimmick was so entertaining, people clamored for him to be on TV. Even if he got jobbed out the freaking Legacy or was getting destroyed by Roddy Piper in a backlot brawl at WrestleMania 12, they wanted to see him. And that's hugely important. And of course, he is so talented. Dustin Rhodes, the older brother to Cody Rhodes, everything he was given, he just leaned in and went with it. And when he was given Goldust, that's what he did. Whether it was the watered down version that wasn't a super perv from like he was in the 90s, or whether it was the super perv in the 90s, Goldust was great. And, the man behind the gimmick, Dustin Rhodes, yeah, probably should have been in the main event a lot. But he wasn't, and we have to deal with that. Number 9, Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder was great. I don't care. He is great. Matt Cardona being back in WWE is great. Does he have a winning record? Nope. But he's still great. Getting himself over on his YouTube channel on tout, making his own like internet championship was awesome. And the freaking, he got so over on his own, without the WWE system behind him, on his own, that fans were chanting, "We want Ryder," every night. His merch was selling with Punk, with Cena, with guys like that. All this happening, leading to him finally winning the U.S. title at TLC 2011, and then the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania 32 on my 16th birthday, was awesome. I've always liked Zack Ryder. I liked him when he was a sniveling little heel with Curt Hawkins helping Edge win. I liked him on the Indies when he was known as the Indie God. And I like him now as Matt Cardona. And I loved him when he was out here somehow being one of the most over guys on the roster without the WWE system behind him. Number 8, Rowdy Roddy Piper. This one I hate that I have to put on this list instead of a main eventers list, which I will never make because holy crap, how do I take the top guys that there have been through history and compile that down to 10 lists, 10 superstars, next to impossible. But Roddy Piper's on here because he never broke through to that main event scene, which is insane. He was in the main event of the first WrestleMania, never a main event guy, ever. And it sucks because he had the talent, the charisma, the promo skills, the entrance, he had everything it took to be a top guy. But when you're in an era with the Hogans, Savages, and eventually Bret Harts of the world, I guess you're going to get overshadowed, even though one of those guys he should have never been overshadowed by. And I'll give you a hint, he wears a lot of pink and he wears a lot of black, and he's not even the best wrestler in his own family. But I digress. Roddy Piper, legendary Intercontinental title runs. Roddy Piper is a top tier mid Carter, so yeah, Roddy Piper. Number 7, Christian. Whether it was post Edge and Christian joining the Invasion, whether it was early 2000s Christian winning the Intercontinental title and having great ladder matches with Chris Jericho, or whether it was on his return Christian being the face of ECW, which might as well be somehow worse than being a mid Carter because WWE cared about ECW so little. I was trying to think of a good analogy, but I'm just going to say so little, like they didn't care. Um, Christian was an elite level mid card guy. And when he finally got his world title run, he proved he could hang in the main event scene, but they never allowed him to, and it sucks. But Christian could work with anyone, he could talk, he had a great theme song, had a great entrance, had charisma. His nickname was literally Captain Charisma, and was just so amazingly gifted. And, like, he is probably the third best worker out of the TLC 6, and he's probably like the fourth most popular. And he honestly probably should have been like in the top 3 for popularity with Edge and Jeff, but he wasn't, and it sucks. But Christian is phenomenal, and he was a great Intercontinental Champion. I think he's got a light heavyweight title reign to him. Um, the best WWE ECW champion. Um, yeah, Christian. Number 6, Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy is probably bell to bell the second best member of the TLC family of him, Jeff, Edge, Christian, and the Dudleys. Um, he's also probably the most underrated member and underappreciated member. Um, like, he could go in the ring with the best of them. He could cut promos. He could be whatever you needed him to be. He is a former U.S. champion. He is a former, I think, cruiserweight champion, European champion, and a former ECW champion. And honestly, his story getting to the ECW title in '08 was like such a watered down and condensed version of Jeff's story in '08 getting to the WWE title. And he made it feel so important. And when he won the ECW title at Unforgiven '08 in a championship scramble with The Miz, Chavo, Finlay, and Mark Henry, it felt monumental for his career, like he was a world champion. And saying that Matt Hardy never won the WWE title genuinely hurts my heart because I love Matt Hardy. But he didn't. Sucks. But hey, still a tag team legend, still a Hall of Famer, all time great mid Carter. But these other 5, they're really good mid Carters. Number 5, John Morrison, Johnny Nitro, whatever you want to call him. Again, it's the same thing with a guy like Roddy Piper, Christian, or Matt Hardy. He had everything it took to be in the main event, but the main event scene was so dominated by Cena, Batista, Edge, Taker, Jeff Hardy, um, Randy, Angle, because more part of Morrison's big upcome was during the end of the Angle era. Like, it was just so dominated. Vince insisted on Great Khali being there. There was no room for him, and it sucks because of how talented Morrison is, especially. But everyone else on this mid card list, like Morrison had the look. Bro looked like he was so disciplined that he didn't even consume half of a chocolate bar. Like, he was always in such a phenomenal shape. He could go in the ring with everyone. He could talk. He had the entrance, the slow-mo with the fan blowing his hair back. All of that, bro, was so good. Like, I feel like there's no excuse for him not being in the main event scene at all, when even The Miz at least got some time in the main event scene. Like, it's absurd to me. But I digress. A former Intercontinental Champion, a former ECW Champion, one half of two tag teams that I absolutely love in Eminem and Miz and Morrison. I don't know how he never got a main event push, and honestly, this list might end up making me more sad than happy because I'm just being reminded of how good these mid card guys were. Number 4, ain't no stopping this century now, Shelton Benjamin. Get it? Because that's how his theme song's. Sorry. At one point was nicknamed the Gold Standard because he was the standard for what it takes to be a mid card wrestler for so long. Always reliable, always putting on great matches, was good on the mic, had a great theme, had a good charisma about him. Again, another one of the guys that had everything it took, but never got what he should have. But he does have an elite resume, given that he was in the high spot of multiple Money in the Bank matches at WrestleMania. A former Intercontinental Champion, U.S. Champion, Tag Team Champion, and again was always being featured because he was that good, and like they needed reliable, and Shelton is reliable. Um, and he's the most underrated member of that famous O2 class of OVW superstars that came up to WWE from OVW together. Cena, Lesnar, Orton, Batista, Shelton Benjamin. Obviously, Shelton Benjamin is probably the most underrated and the least known, but he was so good and he should have been known, and the fact that he wasn't hurts me. Not to mention, he was also a standout wrestler at the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers. I, yeah, he's great. One of the best pure athletes the business has ever seen. Slowly losing that thanks to guys like Javon Evans, Penta, Kofi. But still, love Shelton Benjamin. He was great. Number 3, speaking of Kofi Kingston, it's his time to be talked about. He had a main event run in 2019. It's a shame that it took the MCU as long to get the end game as it did for Vince to get Kofi a WWE title match, 11 years. But that's how long it took. Kofi should have been in the main event scene, not off rip, but before the New Day. Between the years of, between like '09, 2010 to like 2014, Kofi should have been in the main event, but he wasn't. But he found his footing in the mid card very rapidly, winning the Intercontinental title at Night of Champions 2008 from Chris Jericho, who is an absolute legend and all-time great, and the fact that Kofi can say one first title from Chris Jericho is a huge headline that should be discussed. He is a former U.S. champion. He is a former world champion, as I mentioned, but he never stuck around the main event scene. He is one of the greatest tag team wrestlers of all time, alongside Big E and Xavier Woods, The New Day. Multiple Rumble moments of just escaping elimination in this insane fashion, whether he was doing handstands, whether he was using a chair as a pogo stick, using pancakes as a prop to make sure his foot didn't hit the floor. Kofi was always doing something crazy in the Rumble. He's so good, so athletic. He could do anything in the ring, work with anyone. And the fact that he only has one WWE title run is a travesty amongst many that Vince McMahon has committed both in real life and booking WWE, but especially Kofi only getting one WWE title run. I would say that's one of the bigger travesties. Number 2, The Miz. 8-time Intercontinental Champion, 2 away from the record. A former multiple-time U.S. champion, a former tag team champion with John Morrison, with Big Show, with R-Truth. Who else has he won tag gold with? Damien Sandow. Miz, reliable. Beyond belief, reliable, bro. I've seen Miz be put into situations as a young star that should have buckled him, should have made him realize, I can't do this. Being kicked out of the locker room because he ate a piece of chicken over someone's bag and got crumbs in it. I just made a video on the wrestler that he did that to. Go watch it, his case for going on Chris Benoit. Being brought back into the locker room by The Undertaker, being put into a main event spot with John Cena and The Rock, who he didn't belong in that main event scene. I'm gonna be straight up with you, but he did enough to, I feel, not be as overshadowed as what I thought he would have been. A former Money in the Bank winner, and Miz definitely has it all. He can talk with the best of them. If you put him on a mic with The Rock, he would have a chance. He is a former, he can go in the ring, especially nowadays, but he's always been solid in the ring at worst. He's never been this, I can't even stand watching him in the ring. I'm going to go to the bathroom and maybe when I'm back it'll be over. Nah, he's always been solid in the ring. He's got a great entrance, a great theme. I came to play it on my workout playlist because that song has me ready to fight every time I hear it. And I say that about a lot of wrestling theme songs, but Miz's really is great. And he's actually one of the guys I'm not sad that I have to put on here, because this is still an opportunity for me to give The Miz his flowers, which he greatly deserves. Should he have been more? No, he's a 2-time WWE champion, but he never stuck around in the main event scene, so, maybe, but I don't think he deserved more, per se. Number 1, this one does make me sad that he is on this list and not a different list of top 10 anything. Dolph Ziggler. 3-time world champion. Sure, you know what the total length of those reigns were? Not a lot. He had one title for an hour. He had one title for 10 minutes. And then he had the other one for 69 days. Nice. He's a former Intercontinental Champion. Great Intercontinental Champion at that. When Dolph had the title, the Intercontinental title match, 9 out of 10 times, best match on the card. Former U.S. Champion, same story as the Intercontinental title, 9 out of 10 times, best match on the card. When he won the World title, it was the biggest pop I crap you not, I have heard on a Raw After Mania in a long time. But better yet, outside of Seth Rollins, or maybe CM Punk, or maybe Edge, it might be one of the loudest pops for a Money in the Bank cash-in I've ever heard. He was great. He should have been my generation's young Shawn Michaels, because we still had Shawn Michaels in my generation. But he should have been the 90s and 80s, like the heartbreak kid, the long hair, the arrogance, the swagger. Dolph Ziggler should have been that. But instead, he has to settle for being the greatest mid-card wrestler of all time. But hey, I get to give Dolph some flowers. I get to give him a TNA World Title run, an NXT title win, multiple world titles, a Money in the Bank win. One of the most reliable wrestlers ever. He could talk, he had the look. There's zero reason for him to have not been a bigger player, but I digress, and I have to accept the fact that he just wasn't. So, this video ended up being a lot more negative than I wanted it to be. I might try to re-record it. I'm probably not. I'm just gonna say forget about it and upload it. And I'm not being negative at the wrestlers. I'm being negative at how they were booked. Like, I love all 10 of these wrestlers in some way, shape, or form. But it sucks that none of them got more than what they were given when they all deserved it. And I know not everyone can be a star, but these guys could have been, should have been. Like, they were so good. I don't know. I really don't. But I have a lot of love for all these guys, a lot of respect, and like I said, like, should they have all been given more? Yes, but they were all great. The 10 best mid-carders of all time. And that's the video. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Tell me about it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm Andrew Crawford, and unlike John Cena, I can see you, and I will see you very soon.